There is a serious flaw in Synchrony Bank and its online system that I've been dealing with the last couple of months that could affect you. And it may cause me to close my Synchrony account forever. I opened my Synchrony account at the end of July of 2022 when interest rate increases by the Federal Reserve caused internet banks to substantially increase their interest rates to attract new account holders. I was one of those people. This obviously favored people who have savings and those who have emergency funds. I wanted to take advantage of these new opportunities. Now, internet banks are still fighting it out to attract new account holders. I am one of those people who's keeping an eye on what internet banks are now offering. I've been following it closely. Now, I like opening up new accounts to try things out for myself and kick the tires. As I make this video, I have an account with T-Mobile Money that I have opened in 2021. I also have the high yield savings account with Synchrony, and I have a high yield savings account with Bask Bank. I've done early reviews on each of those accounts, which you can check in the description below. Most recently, I just opened a brand new high yield account with Lending Club, but it's too early for me to make any comments about that right now. In 2023, I will be doing updated reviews on all the high yield savings accounts that I have, so you can look forward to that. However, the Synchrony Bank situation is alarming to me, and I am not going to wait to do an updated review. This is why I'm releasing this video now. This video is a cautionary warning to people interested in opening a new account with Synchrony, and it may affect some of existing account holders. Now, another cautionary warning I need to make is that if you don't subscribe, you won't get news updates on high yield savings in the current marketplace. But if you really want to make me happy, you should hit that like button. I promise you, if you hit that like button, you will see my cat's happy face, okay? As promised, here's a photo of my cat. Back to Synchrony. I first learned about Synchrony from my fiancée, who has had an account with them for the last several years. And when she told me earlier this year that they were increasing their high yield savings rates, I was interested. And then I signed up. Unfortunately, I had a tough time signing up because the identity verification system that Synchrony uses draws their information from supposed third-party sources. They never say what these third-party sources are, but clearly there is flawed information. So somewhere out there is a report with incorrect information of what my phone number should be, despite the fact that I've had my current number for at least 3 years. Now, it was a real pain, but I was able to get through it by calling into the Synchrony customer service. I talk about my painful sign-up process in this video in the description below. However, it's now been 3 months later, and I am seriously considering closing my Synchrony account. The central issue has to do with the horribly flawed identity verification system. Anytime I try to log in on a new device, Synchrony wants me to reconfirm my identity with an authentication code, which is not necessarily a bad thing. This is actually quite normal, and all online banks do this. However, what happens is that Synchrony's system tries to send the authentication code to a number they believe is correct, not the one that I'm telling them. How crazy is that? The problem with Synchrony, unlike any other bank I've ever dealt with so far, is that even after I become a customer and I provide them my correct phone number, both on the online profile and when I call in, the Synchrony authentication system still insists on using their flawed information source. I've called customer service a couple of times already, and it does nothing to help the situation. They say they cannot do anything about their third-party verification system. And yet I tell them I am right here telling you the correct number your system should be using. Now, one customer service rep I spoke to said that Synchrony is supposed to recognize my new phone number that I put into their system after 60 days. But it's 90 days, and clearly it hasn't happened. One of the risks of putting money into internet banks is you run the risk of not being able to get your money when you really need it. And in my case, I'm not in an emergency situation trying to get into my Synchrony account. But I could have been. That was the whole point. I was able to do a workaround by inputting an old phone number that I still had access to, but I got very lucky because it's been a number I've been wanting to deactivate for a while now. The whole point of having a high yield savings account is having the ability to access your money quickly when you need to or want to. Otherwise, you can just put your money into a CD or a bond and simply not touch it. For me, I want to access my savings account at a moment's notice, and I don't think that's unreasonable. At the moment, Synchrony is not even that competitive on its interest rates anymore, so I don't have much money in there, but I am keeping it open now just in case. However, Synchrony has this fatal flaw that might be a deal killer for many new account holders. I don't think it's a surprise to say that people don't like being locked out from having immediate access to their money and account. And this is what's happening with me right now. I cannot log in from any new device without having my second phone nearby, which has my old phone number. Not only that, I can't even change the number because Synchrony does not accept any phone number changes that I make. Supposedly, I have to wait 60 days for any new number I input to take effect. But for me, it's been over 90 days now. At the moment, I will probably give it a little bit more time simply because I don't have much money in there. But if I have other internet banks that give better options, there might be no point for me in keeping my Synchrony account open. I may just simply end up closing it. Stay tuned for that. I suggest you check out this next video to find out more about other high yield savings options that is not Synchrony. Do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next video.